work on getting up out of the chair. So first, put your hands to your hip bones and parallel your feet. Looking down, where they already turned out. Can I slightly turn them in? The center of my foot are my second and third toes, not my big toe. That automatically allows for the thigh bones to medially rotate as well. And again, finding a different, I don't say a better position, but just a different position in my hip joint. Okay, we're going to start with some little pelvic tilts. So as you're sitting on your chair, and this is kind of how I would even recommend you sitting more, rather than sitting like this in a chair. See what my back kind of goes through. I don't even want to go there. But can I sit on my sitting bones? You're going to go behind your sits bones, and then you're going to pull your sits bones back. We call this also pelvic tilt, pelvic curl, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, anterior posterior tilt. So many, many names, but we're really looking to focus because we're hopefully proprioceptively better than just mental. I mean, some people are very visual, some people need to feel it, do it to learn. Mostly, touch is a good tool, or using something that gives us a feedback. And sitting on this chair right now is going to give you a feedback of your sitting bones, I hope. And what we're looking for in Pilates is obviously always, well, not obviously, if you've never done Pilates, you might know that we're moving our pelvis as one unit. We want to rock forward and backward on our sits bones evenly. And you might feel, oh, there's one that's heavier and there's one that's moving more. And we're just saying we're going to go forward and backward evenly. Rocking the pelvis back, that's our 12 o'clock, our posterior tilt. And then pulling the sits bones forward, that's our 6 o'clock and our anterior tilt. Now really think about, I'm pulling the chair underneath me, and then I'm going to push the chair behind me. And I'm going to pull the chair underneath me. I'm going to push the chair behind me. And our spine is going to move a little bit, but I really want to make a point that we're not doing it from our spine or from our head, right? We want to get, and Pilates or slow core, or sometimes yoga, Tai Chi, they're even dance. It's a conscious, where am I stepping, or what am I moving, or what's moving first? And really one of my biggest passions is like, what's moving first? Because what's moving first, this is where the load first goes. You can do this, right? And to your part of your brain feels like you're doing this, but you're not. So paying attention to what's moving first. And let's add a little bit on. We're going to round our spine, let the kidneys, which is like right here on your low back on either side, pull back, and then pulling the sits bones back. And we're going to squeeze our shoulders together, and then we're going to keep our kidneys slightly back. But we don't want to hyperextend our lumbar or lower thoracic spine. We want to kind of keep it steady. And that should be quite a sensation in your stomach, or a little sensation in your stomach. And then let the pelvis roll back, and we're going to round the spine and pull the sits bones back, Squeezing the shoulders, lifting the heart. And release. Okay, so here we are, sitting slightly in front of our sits bones. Try not to sit behind your sits bones. It's gonna make it really hard to get out of the chair. And this is what most people do, right? At a certain age. And we have quite a couple of them here in Santa Fe. So what we are looking for is a hinge. We just did the curl, but do not, there's a big difference between the curl and a hinge. And the hinge is coming from my hip as well. The curl is coming from my hip, but now there's a natural stop. You can't really anteriorly tilt. There's a spinal stop. There's joint restriction. But I can try and hinge forward. And that depends on how long of your life have you spent sitting like this. Because this already here might be a problem, right? Or might be hard. So practicing this every day would be really, really, really good. Multiple times a day. And then we're going to hinge forward. I'm going to keep my kidneys back. So I'm strongly lifting my belly up, back into my low back. So my spine is not moving. And then just see how far forward can I go. Your sits bones might lift away from the floor. And see if we can load the feet just a little bit. And the idea is I'm pushing down into my feet. I'm getting ready to come up, right? And then come back to your sits bones.